For people like me who live in the education policy world as part of my day job, Leandro is one of those terms that gets thrown about in just about any conversation about schools, seriously. At its most basic core, Leandro is fairly simple and straightforward. The North Carolina Supreme Court found that yes, the state constitution guarantees that every child in North Carolina has the opportunity to receive a sound basic education. The courts went further to define what a sound basic education means and also what conditions must exist for this sound basic education to occur. A well-trained, competent teacher in every classroom, a well-trained, competent principal in every school, and enough resources that every child has an equal opportunity for that education. Now, those mandates were upheld by the state Supreme Court in 2004. Judge Howard Manning, who I mentioned earlier, retired from the bench last year, had overseen the case since the beginning. Judge David Lee of Union County now has the assignment. Most observers would agree that Judge Manning held both the state and the school system's feet to the fire on whether they were meeting their obligation. Now, the Public School Forum of North Carolina that I lead has been engaged in Leandro and school finance issues more broadly since our inception. In fact, Judge Manning read from the forum's 2005 study group report responding to Leandro at his last hearing, and also regularly cited our annual local school finance report. Now, in spite of good policies like the low wealth and small county supplemental funds, despite increasing support for disadvantaged students, North Carolina's public schools are too often funded and look like two different North Carolinas. Schools in our poorer counties, despite higher than average local tax rates, have far less available to invest in their schools than our wealthier counties. That lack of funding shows up in things like the inability to compete with wealthier school districts in terms of teacher pay, special services, and basic educational materials. Once again, there are new efforts now, as you heard today, to examine how our schools are supported. One from this new motion, to the Governor's Commission, to a legislative task force on school finance. All of these efforts will be wasted, in my opinion, if they do not address adequacy in funding. If we don't, our poorest counties will continue to fall further behind, perpetuating a have or have not scenario based solely on a child's zip code. We can do better. That's it for this week's show. Next week, we're going to discuss the new and controversial innovative school district formerly called Achievement School District, that is slated to begin taking over some of the state's public schools in the fall. You'll meet its superintendent, Dr. Eric Hall. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.